1, go!
Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, welcome to Humalao City, where today the Cascade are hosting the Duford Combats. It is a huge matchup for both these sides as they are having a very slow start to the season. The Combats here are starting out with Machamp and Garchomp, whereas it's Wailord and Inteleon starting out for the Humalao Cascade. Both these sides need a victory, as only the Humalao Cascade have won one game this season. The Duford Combats are yet to have a win, and Hyper Beam immediately starting it off from Inteleon onto Machamp. Massive damage there. We know Inteleon's going to have to recharge, but more impressive, a sheer cold. It is a one-hit KO from Gallade onto Wailord, just like that. The Combats have taken the early lead with a one-hit KO move. They know how huge this matchup is. They need a victory, as Inteleon has its attack stat lowered with that play nice from Machamp. Inteleon having to recharge as Kloitza comes onto the field, and Kloitza immediately takes a drill run from Gallade and responds with a brick break onto Machamp. Machamp though with a super effective Mega Drain onto Inteleon, getting some much needed health restoration. But a huge start. That sheer cold, so impressive to see early on in this matchup. Inteleon now going with the roar of time onto Machamp. This should finish Machamp off, and it does, so Machamp is eliminated, immediately leveling the playing field for both sides. As the Luster Purge from Gallade onto Kloitza, fantastic play here, but Kloitza does respond with a Petal Dance onto Gallade as Mienshao comes onto the field, and Inteleon having to recharge again and opens the door for Mienshao to go for an Aqua Tail onto Kloitza. That's not very effective, but Gallade could finish it off with a Nuzzle instead, opting to go for Inteleon, which is going to leave Inteleon with the paralysis. That was a super effective hit as well, and Kloitza now continuing that Petal Dance, this time going for Mienshao. Very impressive hit again, and now Mienshao with a Heal Pulse, a very strange move onto Inteleon, almost gets Inteleon back to full strength. A very poor choice there, but it will be followed up by a Side Strike from Gallade, taking out Kloitza with that move. A very strong start to this matchup for Gallade, and Inteleon now with a Draining Kiss onto Mienshao is actually going to finish the fighting type Pokemon off. So Inteleon and Gallade, both hugely strong starts for this matchup. Inteleon actually gets itself back to full strength. That's its way of thanking Mienshao. It's Komaru, this pseudo legendary, coming onto the field for the Duford Combats, and Kingdra, another dragon type, this time coming out for the Cascade, and immediately goes with a dig as Komaru sets up a sticky web on the side of the Cascade, so that will be laid out onto the field. A conversion 2 from Gallade will miss Kingdra, but a low kick from Inteleon onto Gallade, not very effective there. Komaru with the Will-O-Wisp, Kingdra again avoiding an attack thanks to that dig, which it does perform now onto Komaru. Not a great deal of damage, however. Gallade going with the acid onto both Kingdra and Inteleon. This will lower that special defense of Kingdra, as Inteleon is unable to move due to that paralysis. Kingdra with the foul play now onto Gallade and finishes off the Psychic fighting type. So Gallade, after a very strong start, has been eliminated, but Komaru responding for its teammate with a Dragon Pulse onto Kingdra, and Kingdra is eliminated with huge damage there. A fantastic play by Komaru, immediately leveling the playing field. Again, these sides are back and forth, as a low sweep from Inteleon onto Komaru will lower Komaru's speed stat there, but this matchup very back and forth, wishy-washy in its solo form, coming onto the field for the Cascade, but it will be schooling after being caught in that sticky web, and Surfetch coming onto the field for the Combats. I almost said Farfetch there, but it was Surfetch. That again, that schooling form of Wishy-Washy. It has the highest base stat total in all of the PokeType League, but when it goes into that solo form, it has the smallest, as an outrage from Inteleon onto Komaru. Super effective, but Komaru is still in this matchup, responds with a Shadow Punch immediately onto Wishy-Washy. Wishy-Washy going for the Acupressure, so it is looking to boost its own stats here, boosting that accuracy greatly. Let's see if it can go for a one-hit KO move. Spite now from Surfetched onto Wishy-Washy. Wishy-Washy seeming to be the focus of the Duford Combats, but a guard swap from Komaru onto Inteleon switches all the changes to their defense and special defenses, but Inteleon continuing with that outrage does actually miss Surfetch, so that outrage will stop as Surfetch with a Rock Polish that should boost its speed, sorry. I almost said attack, but Inteleon again being caught up with that paralysis. Komaru with a Charge Beam though, this will be super effective. and goes to Inteleon. I actually thought that would do a lot more damage, but Inteleon is able to take that hit better than expected. A Teeter Dance now from Wishy-Washy will confuse everyone on the field except for Wishy-Washy. Let's hope that Inteleon does not inflict damage on itself, because that is not what the Cascade wanted at this stage of the matchup. First, though, it is Sirfetch'd who's going to try and shake it off here, and it is able to, and goes for the Flash Cannon. Looks like it's going to go for Inteleon with that move. Inteleon still hanging on. It has been in this matchup for over 5 minutes. Inteleon, though, with that confusion, and instead it's paralyzed, so it's got two things it's worried about now. Como, also confused, shakes it off and goes with the Confide. So it is going to Confide there into Wishy-Washy. They are trying to lower the stats of this Pokemon, lowering its special attack, but Amnesia being performed by Wishy-Washy is going to boost that special defense greatly here. Sirfetch'd just snapped out of its confusion, goes with the Hone Claw, so it's going to boost its attack and its accuracy with that move. It can be a very deadly combination, performing that enough times. Como also snapping out of its confusion and immediately goes for the Pollen Puff onto Inteleon. And Inteleon is finally taken out of this matchup by Como, the Dragon Fighting type. A very good performance there by Inteleon in this matchup as Vaporeon comes out as the last Pokemon. And with that, Doofa Combats have actually taken the lead in this matchup, as well as Vaporeon has its speed stat lowered due to that sticky web. Now Como and Sirfetch'd switch places, and Como goes for the Draco Meteor onto the Evolution. See how well Evolution, the Vaporeon takes this attack, cutting its health greatly there. Como does lower its special attack with that move, and Vaporeon responds with the superpower onto Como and gets the elimination with a critical hit. So the pseudo legendary is taken down. Vaporeon does sacrifice some of its defense and attack to perform that move, but a much important elimination as Wishy-Washy with a Thunderfang onto Sirfetch'd there. Good hit. And the last Pokemon for the Doofa Combats is Blaziken, as a memento unbelievably is performed by Sirfetch'd. It does greatly lower the special attack and attack stats of Vaporeon, but Sirfetch'd eliminates itself at a crucial time in this matchup. Blaziken does follow it up with a Confuse Ray, so now Wishy-Washy will be the one trying to shake off the confusion. But unbelievable, I cannot fathom why Sirfetch'd would take itself out at a stage like this. Although that Flame Wheel is not very effective from Vaporeon onto Blaziken, Wishy-Washy is able to shake off its confusion, but fails with a Purify. Now a Zing Zap coming from Blaziken, this will be super effective onto Wishy-Washy, but Wishy-Washy holds on. Spit Up from Vaporeon fails. Blaziken doing everything it needs. Wishy-Washy needs to shake off this confusion, and it does, and goes with a lovely kiss. This is going to put Blaziken to sleep. This might actually be able to buy the Humanoid Cascade some time. Now they have the type advantage as Wishy-Washy's schooling form becomes its solo form, so it is a real easy target, but Blaziken again is asleep. Blaziken having the health advantage in this matchup needs to wake up. Vaporeon performing a no retreat. This is going to boost all of its stats here. It won't be able to go back to the bench, but it couldn't anyway. There are no Pokemon on the bench of the Humanoid Cascade. They need, again, to capitalize. Wishy-Washy snaps out of its confusion as well and goes with the extra Sentry. This is super effective on Blaziken, but Wishy-Washy in its solo form just isn't strong enough, and Blaziken wakes up and goes with the Baby Dolls. It needs to be on the offense here. If it gets hit with a water attack from Vaporeon, that could do huge damage. Vaporeon, though, with a payback, won't be very effective due to that fighting typing. So Blaziken taking a lot of hits here. Now Wishy-Washy with the conversion too, it will change its typing, and it becomes a fire type, as Endeavor does fail by Blaziken, and Vaporeon sets up a Toxic. This is a really good play, because now Blaziken will be taking regular damage from that Toxic, and it will get worse every time with it being badly poisoned. Now Wishy-Washy with a Thunder Punch, they are chipping away at the Hoenn starter Pokemon here. Blaziken takes that damage from the poison. Again, it will get worse every time, and now Guard Split from Blaziken onto Wishy-Washy, so it's sharing its guard, but Vaporeon with an echoed voice. It does have those lowered attack stats, so Blaziken is taking a lot of damage from two vulnerable Pokemon. They are in a weakened state. But again, Blaziken taking more damage from that poison, and I reckon it might only last one more time as we have our first time warning. Blaziken going with the happy hour, catching everyone up in this happy atmosphere, but now is not the time. A Vine Whip from Vaporeon, not very effective, and Wishy-Washy sets up a grassy terrain, so everybody will be restoring a little bit of health. In the meantime, this could actually prevent Blaziken from being eliminated by that Toxic, so this could be a really bad play. by Wishy-Washy at this time, but it's still the weakest Pokemon. And it's on the field. This would be embarrassing. Blaziken needs to get rid of that solo form Pokemon. They need that victory. Blaziken does hang on after that poisoning. And now Blaziken performs in the retreat as we get another time warning. We could go into overtime with the way this is going. Blaziken does boost all of its stats, but it's not going to survive the poison. So this is a ridiculous play by Blaziken. The Endeavor does fail from Vaporeon, but a Horn attack from Wishy-Washy. Blaziken is eliminated by the weakest Pokemon in the PokeType League. And still, the Dewford Combats are yet to win a game this season. They are 0-5. I did not expect their season to start this way. They are the highest physical attackers in the league, and this is poor form. They need to do better next round when they face the Pony Canyon Fisher. The Humlalao Cascade get a much needed second win of the season and move up to 11. See if they can continue that momentum when they face the Sandloin Swarm next round. But in our next matchup, it'll be the Pony Canyon Fisher with a huge type advantage over the Lumiose Lightning. They will be hosting them. But until then, Nidorinos and Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field. And if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I will see you when you see me.